now, so a daily update for everyone. It's Thursday the 7th of December. I've been trying to record this for a while, and then usual sort of laptop, not maintenance, but preservation. But yeah, so what's been going on? The last update I did, obviously I'd been here a little while already and I'd hurt my knee, so I'll start with the knee. It's a bit better. I'm gonna give it a few more days and go from there. Obviously it's been about a month now, I think, but it banged hard, so I wouldn't expect it to just be better in a few days. It does move in all directions, but especially on a night, if it's been bent for a little while, it tends to wake me up and it's a bit painful. I can now walk one foot in front of the other, which I couldn't do for over a week, but it's still a bit of a limp. So a few people asked, was it about money, why I didn't go direct to the hospital? Yeah and no. Obviously I do understand that should be the most important thing. I wanted to give it some time because in France to go get an x-ray, it's quite expensive, and because I'm not working at the minute, I wouldn't be covered to get the money back. So it's not like I can go and it's kind of A&E and it's covered. It would end up being fairly expensive, and you know, if it was banged and bruised, they're going to just tell me it's bruised, and I've already spent quite a lot of money. So I'm going to give it a little bit longer and see if it does get any better. But as I say, the swelling has gone down. I can now bend it. It does sometimes feel a little bit weak, but as I say, I banged it quite hard. I can feel a bit of a lump on it, and that's maybe a little bit of a worry, but that lump seems to have gone down a little bit more over the last week, so fingers crossed it's all right. But yeah, before I wouldn't have been able to even sit like this. I struggled to get up, and I couldn't bend it at all for a while, so that was quite difficult to like get to and from the shop and stuff. I mean, I still did it, but yeah, it was quite hard getting to and from the shop. What used to take me a 30-minute walk there and a 30-minute walk back was at least an hour walk there and an hour walk back. So I'm glad I can move it a lot better now. Other than the knee, what have I been doing? Obviously I've been putting on quite a lot of episodes from the summer recently. With that, thank you to everyone who continues to watch them. I keep apologising in every video about the footage. This GoPro, I'm hoping this video is alright because it's still, and I've gone and tried to find somewhere with very little background noise, but the microphone on it is broken and it just doesn't stabilize either, so I'm not too sure. It's older than the one I used to have. Also, the SSD drive that I was using before, I won't go into computer things, but it was the SSD drive before runs a lot quicker than a hard drive does, and the laptop generally comes with a hard drive. That SSD drive connector got wet somehow, I have no idea how, but because of that it broke, so I did then have to re-edit a lot of videos. The problem is now with the hard drive, it won't play the higher quality videos, so what I'm having to do is like merge them all and then export them as a lower quality video and then edit them after, but then I'm having to export twice and it's really not practical. And I did prefer putting the higher quality videos on because I'm having to put like the frame rate down and the video quality down. But yeah, it's a little bit about that. I won't go into great detail about it, but I am going to work on getting that SSD drive replaced. But it's like, what do I replace? The GoPro, the SSD drive, the boat. Yeah, I've got to now as well be so careful with the little bit of money I've got remaining, because I'm not too sure when I'll be able to earn any again. Obviously, I could put the boat somewhere and go to work, but and that might end up being the case. But at the minute, I've got a month to get the boat out of here, basically because they're doing work on the pontoons because they're all broken in January. So at the minute, I can't just go fly somewhere and hope that there's some work, and I also would have to take accommodation into consideration if I go somewhere, and I've got to obviously then take into account somewhere to sleep, etc. So it's just not as simple as I always find myself having to explain this, that yeah, you don't always just get to leave the boat and go do it. There'd be a cost involved in me putting the boat somewhere for the month. The closest place now would be La Ciotat, and I really wouldn't want to leave the boat there because they only let you stay on like what is a bit of a welcome dock. It's not that cheap there. I think it's still 14 per night, which obviously it's cheaper than in the summer, but over a month, that's 340, is that right? 340 euros? Yeah, so it's still a fair amount of money, and then by the time you take into account the flights, etc., do I earn that much money by going and trying to do that? Maybe not. So I have been super busy trying to find ways that I can earn some money remotely. I'm still working on some of them bits, and I do feel under quite a bit of pressure at the minute on what I'm gonna do. Regarding general boat life at the minute, it's winter, innit? I don't know if it's actually officially winter. December must officially be winter. It's Christmas soon, innit? So last night was like cold. Someone was telling me that it was -4 10 minutes from here this morning, and yeah, I felt it last night. That in itself is quite tricky because I'm not in a port now with plug-in electricity, so I can't use the heater, and likewise I can't plug the laptop in and stuff on a night time on the boat. So what I tend to be doing is going to the shower block, and I am super grateful that shower block is there. And for the first month and a bit of being here, I was in there like every night and every day. It was like I was doing 2 shifts and that wears off after a while, and now 7 o'clock at night, it's like I've just had my tea and I'm like, what do I do to pass the hours from now? So what I have been doing is been having a hair makeover. It does pass some time. Last night I didn't want to go to the shower block and spent a bit of time doing that. Have I lost my mind? I don't know yet, maybe. Yeah, so I am just trying to keep as busy as I can. It has been quite hard with the bad knee. I've been recording some stuff that will be coming up on YouTube, which I'm quite excited about. I am finding it difficult at the minute to keep putting them episodes on from the summer because all of that footage was just recorded obviously months ago, and I have learned while having to edit them videos where I've gone wrong with YouTube really, and it's a risk putting them on knowing that some people the best way I can describe it is if someone clicks once, and I know I'd be a bit like this, and the video's not the best, they might never click again. But I do want to tell the whole story, so for that reason I am putting them on still. But yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up and then being able to do it a bit better than I did already do it. Anything else to update on? At the minute there's a real temptation sometimes to get off the boat, but as I say, with money it's quite tricky. Like, there's been quite a few nights consecutively where I thought, do I go book somewhere where it's going to be warm, I can plug the laptop in, and if I book it for 2 nights and just consecutively catch up with a lot of the things I need to catch up with, whilst in a bit more comfort, would that be beneficial? And but then there's obviously the cost, so I'm not too sure. It's tricky, isn't it? I didn't obviously plan on getting stuck here. As far as places to get stuck go, it really is not the worst. And I have to say a massive, massive thank you to the people who work here. They are beyond friendly and support, like it's a real big support. And after being in loads of ports where they just didn't want you there, to come into one where they'll do everything they can to help, it really does make a difference. So I am glad that if I got stuck somewhere, it would be here. And some of the things that aren't ideal, like not being able to plug the boat in a way, that's also a good thing, because it means that it's a relaxed, laid back port, and that's really nice. But obviously there'll be more about that coming up in the videos. Regarding YouTube and how that's going, it's doing all right. I've got until February, I think, to make the watch hours and enough subscribers for then the YouTube to be monetized, which, as I've said the whole time, I want to then use that to go towards good causes. You might be thinking, well, you're struggling to pay for things yourself at the minute. YouTube honestly doesn't make much money, like unless you're doing loads, it doesn't generate a lot. And I do like the idea that some of the things I don't like about social media, like algorithms, etc., using it against the system to do something good. Like that, since I started this channel, that's been why I've wanted to do it. So it's also important that, yeah, for the 16 quid I maybe make off YouTube being monetized and the amount of views per month, I want to do it, so that's why I'm going to carry on doing it. But yeah, so it's at the minute there's like 733 subscribers. There's quite a big growth in the last month, and the watch hours are on 2,000, nearly 2,800. So like 200 off the first tier of YouTube, and then I need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So if anybody wants to just let some of the videos play out in the background, it would be helpful. But yeah, nearly there. I think I am optimistic that I'll be able to do it. The problem is, if I don't do it by February, it still counts over a year, but then I lose like the early videos watch hours. So yeah, hopefully we can get that done. Sometimes, if I'm being honest, it's difficult to, I go on and I see other YouTube channels, and I really do try not to compare myself and them. And someone told me the other day that the video quality and stuff, if it was better, I would have more. And I'm sure that's true, but if I just didn't put all of that on now, I would miss a big part of the story. So I will stick with it. It is sometimes hard when you see other ones grow really quick, but I'm not going to give up just yet. I have recently been a bit, is this still doable? Because it has been, it's winter in it. The days are now shorter, from at 5 o'clock, a bit like last winter. It's dark, and I'm limited in what I can do, like on the night time, without going to the shower block. But I do keep trying to keep on with that, and I will keep on trying, keep on keeping on, as everyone always keeps telling me. And then lastly, if you're still with me, boat updates. I don't want to say too much, because I've done some updates before, and I've then updated you to what's going on now, and then sorry, I then think I don't know why I'm sorrying myself. If I've done it before where I've updated, and then I've kind of recorded what's actually happened, like my boat accident. People are then a bit, what's going on? Did that happen here? Did that happen then? So I won't say too much on it, but in this unlikely of places, I may have found the parts I need to fix my boat, or the main thing that's broken with it. I haven't found a Genoa though. However, behind me somewhere, there may be a lifeline. Do I tell you? Yeah, yeah. There's a few boats in here where the owner of them maybe wants to change for a different boat. There's one where the owner's just in a different country and they need to free up the space, and there's potentially a few boats. So trust me, I know a free boat is not always a good thing. However, one of them I think might actually be in better condition than my boat's currently in, and it's the exact same boat. Like, you couldn't make it up. It'll be a really interesting spot the difference video if that ends up happening. Is it without problems? No. Will I give it a really good look over? Yeah. And the reason it could be a bit of a lifeline is I thought about selling mine, and at the time, the one that I'm going to go look at was for sale, and it was for sale for €2,900. And I was thinking, oh, and I looked at all the photos of the clean engine and the sails in good condition and the deck in better condition, and I thought, oh, if that's selling for 2,900, what am I going to be able to sell mine for? And I think it obviously hasn't sold for 2,900, to the point that it might now be free. So what I'd like to think I could maybe then do, it's hard because I've been recording a bit about this today, and I've been at my boat and I'm looking, and there's a, what's the word? Should pause while I think of the word. Sentiment. And I'm sat next to my boat and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, like, I know a boat is not a person, but I don't know. For all the hard times I've had on it, it's been my safe place for the last year, and it has somehow stayed at anchor most of the time, and we've survived together. So I don't, but at the same time, I can take it as far as I can take it, and I was watching another sailing channel, which I'm sure most of you watch too, and the current situation regarding the boat on that, and I'd say maybe more so with mine, because it's not just a case of I've had it just for a year and I've been trying to do it up and it's not really gone to plan. Like, we have, it's been me and that boat for over a year now, out at anchor, freezing together last winter and keeping on together. So it will be quite difficult if that's what I do. I said if I was gonna swap it, obviously there's things that aren't ideal with it. However, I also need to just do what's better for just now. And if doing that will allow me to, if I've got about a month where I can keep all of my stuff on my boat now, and anything that needs doing to it while it's empty, I've always said that is an ideal opportunity, because when you're living on it and you're trying to do sanding and stuff, it becomes an absolute nightmare. But if I have a month, and for the first 2 weeks, just day and night, just do everything that needs doing to this one, and if it's already ready to sail and it means I can get out of here, which I don't mean in a bad way because I do actually like it here. If I was going to go live the rest of my life in a port, it would be this port. but at the same time I'm not, so I do need to find a way to get out of here. And that one is potentially a lot more ready to go. The engine apparently is in a lot better condition, and I have seen the photos and it did generally look like it needed less work. So I need to do what I need to do for now, and if that would allow me, and again it will break my heart, but sell mine for a loss, and it'll be a big loss, because I paid 2,500 for mine with a broken engine, and it was pretty crappy when I bought it, and I have done a lot. And if all of like that couple of years of, well, yeah, really a couple of years of work and the whole last year amounts to a big loss, but the lifeline could potentially be, say, if I, even if I can only get 1,500 for mine on a quick sale, it's some money in the bank. So it, a potential lifeline out of nowhere. And yeah, ideally I wouldn't get the same boat, but if it allows me to keep going throughout the winter and then get to next summer and earn some more money the way I did this year, then great. And I could really do with earning enough money to do a boat license. I don't feel like I want to do it that much, but if it allows some more opportunities to come by having it, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But obviously, that's quite expensive. So if anybody knows anyone who wants to sponsor me some boat lessons or courses, that would be great. But I'm not sure how likely that is. Sponsorships would be a great thing if we had them. I've also been looking, and someone did tell me in the summer to buy one, and I really wish I'd listened. But one of them portable power pack things, and I've seen them a few times on other sailing channels where it's obviously been sponsored, and they've sent it to, but they're so expensive. Like, I looked and it was like, I feel like they're about. I've seen a second-hand one and I think it was like €300, so it is a big purchase. At the minute, it would have been handy to have, so I do wish that I had bought one while I maybe could have, but I didn't. But that would be quite handy to be able to use the laptop on a night time. But yeah, sponsors, boat lessons. I am going to look into trying to find a way to do that if it's going to open up me to then more professionally sell boat trips next year. And then the plan going forward is next summer, earn as much in any way that I can, so that potentially by the end of next year, actually in a position to get, hopefully, towards the Atlantic. So that's the update. I'm going to turn the camera off and realise there was probably loads of other things I was going to say. Again, a massive thank you to everyone who has supported over on Coffee and Patreon. Someone did support on Coffee the other day after I posted the video of me sat on the boat telling everyone how it's the first time I'd had peace for a lot of months. And none of that was for drama. Sometimes I look at the video and think, oh, I don't want to put it on, but some of them don't actually make it on. I feel like it's too dramatic sometimes. I've got them, so one day maybe. But yeah, when I've put a video on like that, and YouTube sometimes doesn't show it to many people, the way everything works, whatever. So whenever I do that and someone has sent me a coffee, or it really does just that someone's watched it and thought, I'm gonna help this guy out. It really is overwhelmingly good. And I have, now I'm going on again. I have watched some other sailing channels recently where I think that gets lost, and I am glad sometimes this channel didn't grow rapidly fast, because there's a real big appreciation for the people who do watch the videos, and even though the quality of the recent episodes being crap, still watch along. And I promise everybody, the GoPro doesn't allow me to say without going off for some reason, but I do that the videos are going to be good. To give you an idea, I've got an episode half done about why there's so many abandoned sailboats in the south of France. I've got an episode about what's wrong with the boat/yachting industry in the south of France. There are various different episodes coming up which are a lot better done than me just picking up and waffling. So thanks for sticking it out. Thanks to everybody who's watched recently. Thanks to everyone who subscribed, liked, commented and shared recently. And eventually we'll get to a point where the videos are going on once or twice a week and we're a much more organised sailing channel, I hope. But until then, I'm still going. I have been close recently. I kind of sit at 50% at the minute, which is quite scary because 50% of do I just leave the boat it's not good. But half of that is because it's cold. But don't be worried if anybody is worried. Obviously, sometimes people who know me watch these and do sometimes create a bit of worry, I think. And there's loads of people who will keep saying, just get off. But I hope one day we're going to look back at all of this and it will have all been worth it. And I think I might go from here once I finish recording this. And I might just go have a little two-night break. And money-wise, it might not be the best thing to do. But last night was really cold and I've got a bit of a chesty cough today. And the nights haven't been great, so maybe just a little break away from it is just what I need. But anyway, kept you long enough. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I will try get an update like this done soon, but really, as I say, I'm just trying to catch the videos up so that I can record what I'm doing now. But yeah, thanks, and I'll see you soon.